So I'm here in Preston city centre today. I'm an anti-vegan and I'm looking to find people to talk about veganism. I want to see what they really think because personally I'm sick of the vegan agenda, vegans coming out and telling other people what to do and, you know, all this stuff. So I want to get people's real opinions. They can talk to me because I'm anti-vegan. I'm going to make sure they know that, and we're going to see if we can find some people and see what they've got to say on this topic. Excuse me. Hey, how's it going? So I'm doing some interviews today. I'm an anti-vegan and I want people to tell me like what they really think about vegans and vegan activism. So I'm doing this some interviews. Are you interested in having a chat?
Yeah.
We've got yeses and nos. Who's a no? Who's a yes? You're a no.
I'm a yes.
I'm not going to embarrass you, anything like that. You just talk about how you feel.
Talking about vegans or vegan activists?
Both, right, basically, yeah, because I'm coming from the opposite side, right? I know what I think, and I'm not going to put my views on you, but I want to know what you really think about vegans, vegan activism, veganism, you know, like what are your thoughts on it?
I'd say they could just do whatever they want, like, they've got their own lives, just do what they feel is right for them.
I don't like touching leather and stuff,
Right.
but that's their decision.
Okay.
And what they want to eat. Like, some people don't like meat, even if they're vegetarian.
I think part of it makes sense, but not all of it. I feel like the idea of like it always seems to be healthier. It's like that's a good thing for everyone, but I don't think they should just say like judge people because they eat meat.
I'm not vegan, I love meat and bacon and all that lot. But
Yeah.
I feel like they should just be whoever they are and just like, but keep to themselves so we don't have to, because we're not really like, oh, don't be vegan kind of thing, but I think just be who you are, but don't like change people's opinions to make like change who they are.
They're so like they've all got this thing that animals are great, why are we killing animals?
Right.
Like we've been doing that for ages.
I mean, I've said the similar thing before. I've said like, yeah, but that's how it is, right? It's what we do. And they'll tell me stuff like, well, it doesn't have to be how it is, and so what, we used to kill them. We don't need to kill them now. And I know what I say to that, but what do you say if they say that to you, for example? You said about like you loving meat, and I've said similar things,
Yeah.
and this is the kind of stuff they say back to me. They say something like, well, just because you love eating it doesn't make it moral,
Yeah.
right? How do you respond to that?
Well, even if you do become vegan, it's not going to really change. They're still going to be killing the animals.
It's not like you can just totally, but you can evict it from your diet, but it's not like it's easier to balance it out with meat.
Yeah.
Like it just makes your life more difficult.
So it's I've said that too. Like it's more convenient to go and to keep eating animal products. But then they tell me that what does convenience matter? This is the kind of responses I get. What does convenience matter? Like, how is that more important than someone's life? What do you say to something like that?
I'd probably say that it's not. You're not thinking about it as a life as such. Like
Right.
it is a life, but they don't know that they are alive.
Back then, like when we didn't really have like all that we had to kill for food or we
Yeah.
wouldn't survive. So to be honest, like if we didn't, so our ancestors, like if we didn't eat meat, we probably wouldn't have survived.
I've also said that we've been eating it for millions of years. It's how we evolved. And then the answer I've had is we didn't used to wear clothes, you know, when we were cavemen, right? But we wear clothes now. And they'll use examples like that, but they say that we don't have to do what they did. We can be different.
Yeah.
Why are we basing what we do now on them? And that's something again I've heard quite a lot vegans say. What do you think about that as a comeback to what you said when they
to
say
be
that?
honest, it like food's gonna like we need food to survive. We don't need clothes to survive. You know
Do we
what
not?
I mean? Not really.
If you just keep your views to yourself and don't try and force your views on other people, then nobody would ever have a problem.
Okay.
So I think it's completely fine to be a vegan. If you want to be a vegan, you can be
Yeah.
a vegan.
Yeah.
But forcing your viewpoint on somebody else isn't ethically right, in my opinion.
I say the same stuff, right? And I've had this one came back this time when I've said this before. They said, all right then, what about forcing our views on someone if it is to save someone? So for example, let's talk about, they bring up like racism a lot and slavery and how slavery was legal and how if nobody ever forced their views on that, we'd still have people as slaves right now. What do you think about that
I guess that's true, but at the end of the day, if you think about the ratio of people that thought slavery was completely right
Yeah.
to the ratio of people who think that veganism is the complete right way, nobody should eat meat, then you know, I think that the ratios would be completely different.
Okay, so you're saying that if the majority believes something, then
Yeah.
by default it's right?
I'm not saying that by default it's right. I'm just saying that by default that would naturally become the more mainstream thing.
Times have changed like a lot, and
Yeah.
I think we just need to respect other people if they want to be, but don't like be telling people what to do. Just
Right.
be yourself, but like don't let others be themselves.
I've had these discussions where I've said that leave me alone and I'll leave you alone, and they said something like, they come back and they say like, if everybody did that, nothing would ever change. That's what they tell me. Like, okay, so like for example, you both have the right to vote. If people didn't fight for that, you wouldn't be able to vote as women.
Yeah.
So if everybody just let everybody do what they wanted and no one ever questioned it, then
You've got good points, like, but I don't really know.
There's a difference between forcing your views and informing someone. It's more healthy. There's less suffering for animals.
Okay.
And stuff like that. Then that's fine.
they've got a good point, and you're happy for them to give you that point,
Yeah.
as long as it's phrased in a way that's not like you have to do what I say.
Yeah.
And what I've had responses to that online, mainly at comment sections and stuff like that, they've said like, what's more forcing a belief for a vegan to say you should go vegan, or for a non-vegan to pay for someone to cut an animal's throat? Who's more forcing the belief in that situation? You know, what's more forceful? A vegan saying go vegan, or a non-vegan paying for someone to kill an animal? Well, how do you feel about something like given that example? They've asked me what's holding you back. Why wouldn't you be a vegan? They've asked me, right?
You won't have that
And
energy
what do you
off
think?
meat. You won't have energy off meat, you know, like protein.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They,
protein
you think it's
stuff.
for you it's the protein
Yeah.
that's the issue, right? Is
Yeah.
that what about yourself, or what would?
No,
would
I've
you
grown
say?
up like my dad used to like, he used to be like not have a lot of money when he grown up, so he used to go hunting and stuff for like rabbits and all that lot, and it's kind of like I've grown up and he used to always cook meat.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just I've grown up in that environment with the meat around me, like.
If they're going to question killing the animal, they'll have to question selective breeding.
Yeah, I think they do. Yeah, I think they do. I think they question the whole thing. It
Yeah.
tends to be where the region they sit in is like, why are we raising these animals to then kill them, or we don't have to do it?
You could bring questions about anything. So if they're on about soy, that's really bad farming for the environment.
Yeah.
But then again, you've also got cows which release a lot of methane. That's really bad for the
Yeah.
environment.
Do you know what they say about the soy? They say like most soy is grown to feed livestock animals. That's animal feed. They're like something like I've heard between 70% or more is apparently is grazed and then grown and given to those animals. If you met a vegan, if you met one now and they were like in front of you and they were like, oh, like let's talk about answer some of these queries and like give you information, would you listen to them, or would you be like, nah?
No, I'll
Like,
probably listen to them. Like
Yeah.
they have the points, but
okay.
I just they just need to like, I'm not saying keep to themselves, but kind of like just respect other people. You know
Okay.
what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
not saying they're not respecting other people, just respect their opinions.
All right.
you know?
What about you? If would you listen to someone? Yeah.
Just listen.
What about if I told you that I'm a vegan? I'm actually an activist, and this
Yeah.
was like a social experiment. What do you think?
I actually kind of do.
I'm actually a vegan activist, and this was like a social experiment. So I'm sorry I tricked you. I didn't trick you. I think a few of you got it already. Like, but the idea of this was to get people's real opinions, right? Because a lot of the time people are too nice to me, and I don't like it. So I'm coming in at this angle so that you could just be like straight and say what you want. And to be fair to all, you didn't say anything nasty. I've had much nastier people do this. People have been super brutal about vegans. Do me a favor and just do two things for me. I'm not going to lecture you. We've already had our vegan discussion here. Two things. Number one, I want you to watch something. It's called Land of Hope and Glory. Land of Hope and Glory.
Yeah.
But I want to ask just one thing. If you can commit to doing it, this is going to be on YouTube, by the way. So if you commit, you've got to do it. All right?
Right, yeah.
I want you to watch something called Land of Hope and Glory. All right, if you want, could you write it down? One of you, is that okay? Just so you remember it. That's a British documentary. It's not shock one. It's not trying to shock you. It's just literally what is happening in our country. Can you commit to watching it?
Yeah.
Cool. You look at the camera and commit.
Yeah.
You're gonna watch it. Nice
Yeah.
one. All right. Can you say yes? Can you commit to it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll watch Land of Hope and Glory.
Awesome. Cool. That's brilliant. And the other thing, there is something called Challenge 22. And basically what it is, you can sign up to it. It's 100% free. And you just get like volunteers that they just get free recipes, free nutrition, free everything. And they just give you everything you need to basically live vegan. And so for the nutritional side of things, that could really help you. But the point is that you get that head start on it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much. Nice to meet you both.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
See you
Thank
later.
Bye.
Thanks. Cool? Cool. All right. Nice to meet you all. Thanks so much. Thanks for your time. Thanks. Thanks, mate. See you later.